This video is a VR to Tarot Shrink on her Tarot and Oracle Self-Care video. Self-care to me has different aspects to it. We need the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual. All of that encompasses pretty much who we are. The four worlds, the four elements, the four layers of our soul. And whenever I think of self-care, of course, I immediately think of coming to the cards, coming to tarot. These are the decks that I go for when I need a lesson, when I need to understand what's going on. And actually a lot of times too, because decks are visual, right? Tarot and Oracle are very visual. An artist created those images. And our subconscious and the universe, they speak to us through symbolism. So a lot of times I'm kind of looking for that visual that can help me decipher what it is that's going on within me. So I'm going to start with one of my favorites, and it's called the Sabbath Tarot. This is the book that it comes with. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you all of the images because some of them can be a little bit inappropriate, but I love this red edge. I didn't do this, it just comes like that. So this is the deck, and perhaps a little bit of a darker thing, a little bit sinister, a little bit goth perhaps, but when I got this deck, the images really spoke to me, and the book, I swear, I would have a thought in my mind, like a sentence, and I would go to the book, like I would pull some cards, get a card and go, okay, I'm not really seeing how this card perhaps makes that much sense to what I'm going through, but let's check out the book. And like the sentence I'm thinking of is in the book. Maybe the book is alive and it changes with my mind. It's actually not a super thick book. And the messages, for example, they are not super long. You get keywords, you get a blurb, and then you have the upright and reversed meanings. Some of them are longer than others. For example, this one is a little bit longer. But this deck, without fail, it shows me what I need to see, and it even shows me what I was already thinking of. You know, so it's honestly, it has become my go-to deck 100% very quickly. And the artist his name is Alan Spears, I believe. And he's creating, I think, a few more decks that I am saving my money already to get them. Okay, so the next two really are by Arthur Wang, or Wong, I should say. The first one is the True Black Tarot, one of the most beautiful decks I have ever seen. Here are the backs. Everything is black to its true name. And the majors have these, I forgot what these are called, UV stamps to them that are just incredible. And they all have meanings. They're all in the book. The book is small. It's just like what we call your little white book is what we call them. But this deck is great. It's I was gonna say a clone, but not really, of the Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's very Pippish as well. Like for example, the Two of Wands looks like that. The Four of Wands, Six of Wands. And I love this deck, but Arthur Wong recently came out with it's a tarot / oracle. It's a bit of a hybrid because it still has swords, wands, it has the four suits, right? Swords, wands, pentacles, and cups. But the major arcana are different. And also he made it white and gold instead of like black. He made it white and gold. And it's called the Ephemere. I pronounce it Ephemere. I'm not sure if there's a different pronunciation to it, but let me know. So here we have the book, also a small book. But I gotta say, this deck surprised me. I love the art of Arthur Wong. He's one of my favorite deck creators when it comes to artwork. The True Black Tarot, I used to have a lot more tarot decks than I do now, and I got rid of most of my collection. There will be a video for that. And he's the one that I was like, this deck is never leaving my collection. It's too beautiful. I remember not feeling that great one day and just having my mind all over the place and really kind of needing a bit of advice from my higher self. And I went to this deck. This card came up. It's called Burn. And I believe it's linked to the Strength card in, like, let's say a regular tarot deck, right? And here we have a person with basically like 3 faces, right? And as I read the book, it describes the 3 faces, and each word related to what I was feeling in that moment. And I was like, yes, these are the words that I needed. This is like the guidance that I needed. I'll keep showing you guys the rest of the deck. So this is the guidance I needed just to put my thoughts in order. So, and then I started journaling. I really, like, after that, I really went in and I was like, okay, now we can like work this out and really talk it through. So this deck, honestly, has really helped me, and it has really shown me visually something I needed to see to work it out. So what I look for in self-care decks is what gets me beyond just divination. I want to know my inner self. I look for what I'm feeling, what I'm navigating through, and for assistance to kind of help me out. So my next one is called the Cosma Visions Oracle by James R. Eads, and another absolutely stunning deck. And what I love about this, it is another tarot oracle hybrid because he has 4 suits and a major arcana in it. But what I found to be quite brilliant, and what drove me to this deck in particular, is that the Fool card is death. So then we're dealing with almost like the afterlife. But to me, when I think of death in this reality, or when I think of death in my inner self, is more about the depth, the darkness of something, of my inner self. So when we're dealing with death, we deal also with ideas of karma. And then we have the maze, which could be the maze of our mind, or the maze we're navigating in, the maze we're in and trying to figure our way out. We're also dealing with life on Earth, for example. And embers would be fire, lotuses would be cups, birds are swords, and trees are the pentacles or discs. And when I am doing readings for myself, that's what I usually do. I look at the image first. I pull a card and I look at the image and I go, okay, what is this image telling me? How does it make me feel? Regardless of what I know the deck to be, right? If I know that I pulled strength, or I know I pulled death, or I know I pulled the Hierophant, I know the keywords. But first and foremost, how am I feeling right now? And what does this make me, how does this make me feel? And what does it remind me of in this moment with my feelings? And then memories will come, or thoughts will come, or maybe a story in my head will come, and then I kind of jot it down. And then I go to the book to see if it supports my thesis, or if it can add something to it, right? It's always nice to have perhaps another opinion. Okay, my next one is the Tarot of the Spirit. I love this deck. I love the art of this deck as well. And the book is another one. So I'm definitely a person that goes to the book. I want to know what the author has to say. I want to know what the message is. But I have learned through my years of reading tarot and studying tarot is that your inner message should always trump the message you get from the book. It should always come first, okay? The book can make you think deeper and can make you think differently, and it can give you a word or a phrase you didn't really think of, but it makes sense, which is great. It's a great help. But again, your inner message should always be the first one you listen to. Final deck is the Spirit Keepers Tarot by Benabel Wen. This one, I believe, is out of print. Is the Revelation edition, the one that I have. I believe she made 3. This is the third one. And then I know she made a second edition to this, like a reprint of it. I think for people were demanding it or something, and she did a reprint, but I don't know where she's at right now with these. But It's all handmade by her, and I love this deck. This deck also has a lot to say, and she has placed so much in these images. Perhaps sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, but most of the time it really has a way of speaking. And even if you worked this deck many times, there's always a piece of it that will speak to you in a different way. You will be kind of drawn to different areas of the card every time you pull from it. So I love this deck. It really has helped me through quite a bit and through quite a lot. So whatever is in your self-care bundle, trust that it's for you. There are so many things in this world that we can almost question ourselves, right? And go, okay, I like this, but why do I like this versus that? If so many people like that, why don't I? Trust where you're just naturally drawn to. I feel like a lot of us are looking for this shining light upon something. Perhaps you're shopping for a deck or a crystal, and we look for that shining light that's like, I am being called to that thing. But a lot of times it's just a natural pull. It just feels easy and natural, and you go, I just like it because I like it. Maybe you don't even know why you like it, but you just say, I really kind of like it. And I like talking about it. I want to talk about it. I want to play with it. I want to work with it. To me, that should be reason enough for you to work with a crystal, a deity, a mantra, a deck. So thank you so much. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you guys next time.